Welcome, Dee. Thanks for joining us today. I really appreciate you taking the time. Um, as we're working up to the 43rd annual International Battery Seminar in Florida, wanted to just briefly talk to you about, um, first of all, to thank you for all the help and great participation in the meetings that you've done over the years. We really appreciate all that support of the meeting. It's really great. Wanted to kind of talk a little bit to you about some of the specifics. You're doing a lot of there's several pieces on the agenda this year that you're participating in, which we greatly thank you for. We wanted to kind of go over a little bit on one of the talks that you're doing, primarily a little bit around DRX development, and wanted to get your feedback on that. So, why don't we hear much about DRX development?
So DRX has been around for a number of years, but like all cathode materials, the development of a new cathode material is challenging. And I don't think that there's been enough investment and enough kind of progress outside of Wildcat for it to get a lot of attention in the industry. But Wildcat DRX now is at a point where it should be getting a lot of attention in the industry.
And you guys think, and is Wildcat ahead of the industry on this? I mean, is that where you guys at?
Yeah, definitely. So we started our effort, a number of years ago, but very small. We had about a half a person working on it for some time. And then it just kept growing and growing until we have quite a large effort on it. And during that time, we have some real foundational patents granted in this area. And our performance has just been increasing year after year in terms of energy density, in terms of cycle life. We've now scaled it enough to make, roll-to-roll coating, larger format multi-layer pouch cells, starting to do some safety testing. And it's really our ability to rapidly screen the compositional space of DRX with our high throughput technology, and then to scale it up and validate it in the larger cells. There aren't a lot of companies that have all of those capabilities.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. How does DRX compare with LMR cathode, for example? In terms of performance, what are you seeing there?
Yeah, we get that question a lot because there's a lot of sort of interest in LMR right now, especially by the automotive companies. So LMR, let me just compare and contrast. So LMR still has quite a lot of nickel in it, whereas the DRX doesn't have any nickel or cobalt. So from a cost perspective, that's a good deal. From a sustainability perspective, that's a good deal. The energy density of DRX is higher than LMR, and especially in light of the fact that, you might see very large energy densities quoted for LMR, but if you really take advantage of that full energy density, you're going to have a big problem with voltage fade. And so what the industry is doing is backing off on what LMR can do to avoid having to deal with voltage fade. And that's fine, but you're not really taking advantage of the entire kind of potential of that material. And you just can't. That voltage fade is inherent. DRX also has some voltage fade, but we're starting out with a much higher specific capacity. So even if we have to give up a little, we're ahead of LMR on energy density. Oh, it's also a safer material. These layered materials like NMC, and LMR has a bit of that in it too, have a concern that they can rearrange structure and release oxygen, which of course could cause a safety event. The DRX doesn't do that. So we have a number of advantages. And we think with some time and investment that DRX will significantly outperform LMR.
Well, that's great to hear. Thank you for that preview and looking at your upcoming DRX talk down in Florida in the upcoming 43rd annual International Battery Seminar. Thank you again for your time. That'll be on March 23rd through the 26th in Orlando. We hope to see as many of you here watching this, as well as we're looking forward to seeing you down there, Dee, and seeing all of your participation in the agenda, as well as the talk that we just talked about. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Craig. Looking forward to Florida.